Hello Cowboys Nation. Here's another round of Dallas Cowboys news. Watch until the end so you don't miss any Dallas Cowboys news. See why the Dallas Cowboys should reunite with former Pro Bowl linebacker after lack of depth on their defense. There may now be new competition for the Dallas Cowboys beyond what they'll face on the field for the rest of the season. Dallas is now a threat supposedly pursued by Minnesota Vikings linebacker Anthony Barr. With Shaquille Leonard recently signing with the Philadelphia Eagles, the stakes are high for the Cowboys to find depth at linebacker. They still have that glaring gap, losing Leighton Vander Esch this season and possibly forever. Hold your breath, Cowboys fans, help could be on the way. Marquise Bell and Damone Clark are holding the weight, but it probably won't last long with the experience they have. Bell was elevated from safety to the new position when help was needed, which means Dallas needs to act quickly. Depth is scarce and they are one injury away from a collision. Barr played in 14 games, 10 of them starting for the team, and totaled 58 tackles, 1 sack and a pair of fumble recoveries. His production wasn't the best, but he did his best to fill the depth last season. This year, it's more necessary than ever, as the playoffs are fast approaching. He was a free agent until the Vikings brought him back, and now he's been part of the roster for the last 2 weeks. However, he is still part of the Vikings practice squad. The only way to prevent Dallas from taking him is to activate him on the 53-man roster. The Cowboys are in emergency mode for LB depth. The team is one step away from collapsing linebacker depth, prompting the search for emergency services for help. Dallas must act now, especially as competition is increasing in the NFC. However, the defense is still on the rise with its young talents, of course in the names of Darren Bland and Micah Parsons. The team still needs to do some research before the opportunity becomes scarce. Barr not only has experience with Dallas, but his veteran status sets him apart from the young talent. At 6'5", he has some attributes that could complement Marquise Bell and Damone Clark. The Eagles already have their new linebacker, so the Cowboys should respond with this shocking move. It would be smart for Jerry Jones to make some calls and move the needle. The Cowboys can put in the haymaker all they want, but it will depend on which talent can exceed those expectations. Barr has the same aggressiveness and mentality as Parsons, so imagine these two youngsters on either side. It would be like a pair of lightning bolts in a bottle about to explode. Anthony Barr fits Dan Quinn's defensive scheme. Barr is no longer the same player he was a long time ago, but that's not the killing joy of the moment. He can still mix his skills with Dan Quinn's defense and make some noise. There was a lack of production on his part. However, with a change of scenery and the playoffs approaching, he could change the game for this apocalyptic defense. Coverage may be an area that Barr lacks, but if Quinn can mix up this defense to put him in the pass rush scheme, then everything will fall into place. His ability to blitz and be a downhill defender has always been his calling card. This spot is already being taken care of by Parsons, but Quinn is always looking to change up the spices. The similarity of his skills to Parsons is the perfect answer to Dallas' call. Quinn runs a complex defensive scheme, but simplifies it by using a variety of plays to keep winning results. This is exactly the way Barr should use it if he were brought to Dallas. Creating turnovers and shifting momentum will be the hallmark of every game for this defense. Barr and the Cowboy defense have the same mentality, but it all depends on if he's willing to buy into it. Leave your like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any Dallas Cowboys news. Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy will be back at the facility on Friday, just 2 days after undergoing surgery to remove his appendix on Wednesday afternoon, and he is expected to be ready to coach out of the lineup on Sunday night against Philadelphia. Eagles. When asked if there are contingency plans in case McCarthy isn't available to practice in the backfield on Sunday, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer said it's full steam ahead and that he doesn't anticipate anything different. McCarthy was in communication with the coaching staff and players as soon as he came out of surgery Wednesday afternoon, while attending Zoom meetings and making phone calls with various team officials. His weekly Thursday meeting with Schottenheimer and quarterback Dak Prescott to discuss the week of practice and upcoming game plan will continue as normal, with only McCarthy calling in via Zoom. McCarthy has missed just one game in his 17-year career, a game against the New Orleans Saints in 2021 for testing positive for COVID-19. Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn replaced McCarthy in that game as interim head coach and has more than 5 seasons of head coaching experience under his belt since his time in Atlanta. When asked if there were any concerns about McCarthy's availability Wednesday afternoon, Quinn threw a little humor at reporters by stating his confidence that the coaching staff will be at full strength when he said, "Do you think the tough Irishman is going to miss this game?" The Cowboys practiced Wednesday and Thursday without McCarthy, but will have their coach back in the building for Friday's practice and Saturday's session. "I think he has to sit out this game and recover from surgery." What do you think? Leave your opinion below. We'll be back any minute with more Dallas Cowboys news.